it just me?
Hey everybody, welcome to Late Late Horror Show. I am Dino, and look who we got. We got somebody new.
Yes, happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we have Kelsey. She's going to be joining us for right now for the channel and talk horror, right?
Yeah, my favorite.
Your favorite, of course. Yeah. Before we start talking about the Cleansing Hour 2019, which Kelsey picked out, we'll get to know her a little bit before we get into the movie and the review and stuff. But we'll be doing this every week, just like me and Ted. So it'll be kind of cool to get like a different perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
On some newer movies, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I may have to throw you into...
Cool with new and old.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I might have to throw you some old classics. I mean, I know your favorite movie is Nightmare on Elm Street,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So that'll be... And we're all about 80s horror here, so... Anyways, Kelsey, what have you been doing for the past 10 years, and what do you plan on doing? Just tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I'm primarily an actor, writer, and model. I'm very, very heavily involved with horror. It's definitely been my passion and focus for quite a long time. And so, I mean, I've written screenplays, and then my basis where I started was doing film reviews for a lot of genre websites over the years. So yeah, I kind of do a combination of that and just performing and diving in and exploring the layers of horror in different ways.
Yeah, you've done a lot of... Well, you came from L.A. She's originally from here.
Yeah.
But she came from L.A., and out there you did a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of independence and a lot of photo shoots.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool photo shoots. So you've been in the business, kind of, and done quite a bit of stuff. So that's kind of cool. To get the perspective of like filmmaking, you know what I mean? So
right, yeah. Come at it from both sides because
the
fan first, and then
yes.
I've done a lot of like analyzing and film criticism, and then from the aspect of a performer or filmmaker too. So yeah.
And she does have a website up there, which is going to be linked down below, because it's got all the info on Kelsey. Okay, everything will be down there. So check that out. Make sure you like her on Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, I do have Twitter.
Facebook.
Not as active on Twitter, but yeah, we have it.
But mainly the website is where you can go get all of her information and all that stuff. She's already got photo shoots booked up here and stuff. So she's on the road already, so we'll see where it takes you. But
coming back to the Cleveland roots, you know?
Yeah. But glad to have you on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully this works out and, you enjoy it and,
What's not
have
to
some
enjoy?
fun.
Talking horror and diving into indie and classic films.
Yep.
Sharing that passion and perspective.
Yeah, and with that said, we are going to be doing extra little videos on Patreon too. So always go there, check out our Patreon, join up over there. We're going to start having at least 2 videos up there a week, I'm guessing. We'll see. But yeah, do that. All the links are down below. Check them out. And with that said, let's get into the movie. And she's going to introduce me here to newer movies, like I said. The Cleansing Hour 2019, written and directed by Damien Levesque. And I'm...
Gut reaction, give it to me.
My gut reaction is I did really enjoy some of the movie. It's a great idea. The integrating social media and everything like that, and how many viewers you can get just online by pointing a camera and all that is very interesting. I know there were a couple other movies out there. Wasn't The Host like that, I think?
Oh yeah, the newer one.
The social integrating.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that
which
one
I haven't seen yet.
That one actually took place during our current pandemic, so that was kind of like one thing I liked about that was they used the resources that they had. They're like, okay, we're all shut down. Let's create something, and It wasn't necessarily totally like about what we're going through because it was just like a paranormal sort of haunting, but it was kind of cool that they immediately made it, and within 3 months we have a like pandemic taking place film, But yeah, definitely like the I guess with that, it was less social media, but more like viral because it was like the Zoom sessions of chatting
and just got out there.
and all being captured. So yeah, it definitely can be interesting to utilize kind of the digital current age and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I thought it was very interesting using the social media aspect, but oh my God, the acting was an issue, but then it got a lot better throughout the movie. Most of the people that they had on set they did a great job acting. I mean, it was Father Max.
Yeah, did you have an issue with anyone in particular acting wise? I'm just curious.
Oh boy. No, I mean not really. I think they all did. That's the one thing about this. I mean, I know they say it's from Taiwan. I mean, it's a Taiwanese movie made, but it's shot in California, something like that. Who knows?
I think it's American. I think it just maybe was released in Taiwan first.
Okay,
maybe
there you go.
Because I saw under the release date it said Taiwan, so
maybe that's what I
maybe
noticed.
it played at like a film festival there because I know it's a Shudder exclusive now, and they tend to get their stuff from
Shudder exclusive.
Yes.
Code late. Anyways.
But yeah, they tend to get their stuff from like indie horror film festivals and stuff, and then pick it up for their network. So it might have been something like that. But yeah, it seems pretty American.
No. Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, no. And we'll get to her view in a second. But overall, it's the acting was good. It's just bits and pieces of production, but that could be just monetarily their budget. You know what I mean? Even the demon at the end. It was a cool idea in the premise and everything like that, but it looked to me it looked cheesy. I'm not a fan of CGI and all that stuff, and even the gore. I'd be interested to hear what you thought of the gory scenes in this movie, because they weren't really gory enough to scare me. Like, I didn't look at it and go, "Oh my God, this looks real." Like, even when he was stepping on the glass, in the bathroom scenes, you know what I mean? It just, not like Saw. I mean, they had a bigger budget, right?
Yeah.
But it just didn't get me like a lot of the other ones. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the really gory movies anyways, but this one didn't scare me as much as I thought it would. I was looking at it going, but it could be budgetary restraints, you know what I mean? If you don't got a lot of money, you can't have the best of everything. So, with that said, it was okay. We were saying, out of 10, I know IMDb has 5.9 out of 10. Nobody goes there anymore. They go to Rotten Tomatoes, but whether you believe those scores anyways either is another story. But I would have given it a 4 out of 10. Not a big fan of the newer movies. This one, it was okay. I got through it and I watched it, but I have a feeling you're going to like it a lot more than I did. But I love the premise, the exorcisms and recording them, but how he got away with finding, people possessed and exorcising them on social media, and then throwing out all the, the merchandise and stuff like that. I don't know how that would have possibly worked.
I don't think that's a stretch at all. If you see on some, especially with the merchandise, even some of these, political extremism shows, they're all about pushing their merch, and a lot of it's bullshit products. But it's once you have an audience, and that's the kind. I guess one aspect I did like that it was maybe he had good intentions in the beginning, he was trying to show people of this evil that's capable in the world, but he very obviously got consumed with fame and success and greed, and then kind of just became a slave to that and forgot about everything else.
Look at that. Okay. No, you know what? Now that you say that, kind of makes sense. I mean, I don't know so much about the religious shows because I've never really watched any, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're right. They push their merchandise.
I mean,
and
so many
like
things.
that.
It's if you have any success or followers, it's then making money. How else can we merchandise or make a profit off this or whatever, So
I get it, but that's my overall. You guys heard me rant. Let's get her what she thinks of the movie and all that. So you go ahead. What are your likes and dislikes about the movie?
Okay, I would say overall, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Definitely not a perfect film. earlier, I would say like through most of the film, maybe like in maybe the first hour, I was like, okay, this is a decent, fun movie, but maybe nothing great. And then it kind of pulled me in more towards the end. I liked some of the reveals, both in the character and story, and kind of, I guess, like tapping in more to everyone having these secrets and flaws and, you know, deceitful pasts and things like that.
Well, that's something I didn't bring up too. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of like throwbacks to, you know, their younger years and, you know, sins and stuff like that. So, but sorry, didn't mean.
Oh, it's all good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so like overall I found it was interesting and compelling. I like a lot of horror with layers and examining things and, you know, darkness in humanity or what we're capable of or society. So I kind of like that it had that like classic like demonic, very primal evil, and it also had tapping into some of the evil that humanity can be capable of too. And I really like that it was kind of like that, kind of like a mirror between kind of like the classic, like very pre-centric, you know, possession films, and then a little bit more of like the new age, you know, viral videos, and how like it really comes to the point of absolute life or death, whether your followers and your engagement is there. So I kind of liked how they played with some of that, and yeah, how that's kind of in a lot of the world we live in now.
Yeah, the worse things get, the more viewers you're going to get, because they want to see the worst in humanity and the worst in what's going on. That's kind of, you know, what they were kind of saying there. And I thought what was really cool was all the computers he had, I think Drew had set up there, where they had databases for demons, what you would do for those demons, how you would, you know, expel those demons. I thought that was cool. They did their homework, which I guess they would if they had a big, you know, project like they were doing on their, you know, social media. Imagine going live and getting 500,000 people. Right. I mean, come on, you know, who wouldn't want that? And how much money that would bring in. But, yeah, no, I thought that was interesting. That was cool. But, yeah, no, everything you said, you know, I get it. Makes sense.
I would say probably there were parts that seemed a little generic, especially like I liked the backstory and what happened to them when they were younger, and where maybe some of I liked how that kind of touched upon some of like the hypocrisy and dangers and like extremism of any, I mean, it could be anything. It could be religion. It could be anything. If you have really extremist views, a lot of times that's, you know, that can have really deadly results. So I thought that was an interesting point. And it wasn't the biggest deal, but even like, you know, the main demon of his past is like this nun who was pretty cliched and over the top, you know, just total evil, like not even a smidge of anything. But like it got the point across. Like we get that they came from this religious background, and there was from those kind of religious people in their life, they was a lot of the
affected
horrors.
their life.
And then that kind of pushed them to go in this other direction, and perhaps in the beginning they had good intentions of, oh, we'll show the world what can happen even if it isn't real. It's a representation of what could be real. And then, of course, they kind of, you know, went a different way as they started to have more fame and success and all that.
Right.
But yeah, some of those scenes were kind of mixed. I actually did really like most of the effects. It was part CGI, part practical effects, so I can see why, you know, there would be aspects where it looked a little more fake or not as genuine. But I don't know, I thought it had overall like a kind of dark, gritty look, and I liked
I liked that about it. It did have the cinematography of it really was good, but when they interjected the what they did do of the CGI, like the red flames and fire and stuff like that, looked a bit off. I can see that being a bit much, But that's me nitpicking. You know, I don't know. I nitpick a lot on some newer movies. That's my thing. But anyways,
some of the and I liked overall like the demon kind of possessed girl look. And she even had some, like, I don't know, like, fun, cheesy lines, you
She
know,
did,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. So I think, like, I liked that actress, Alex Angeles, I believe her name
Yeah.
was. So I thought she did well because she...
As Lane.
Yeah, she did pretty... Yeah, as Lane. She did pretty good. Kind of holding her own, like, she is victimized and being shown she's being taken over by this thing, but also, like, she kind of wasn't a total victim, kind of held her ground a bit.
Yeah.
And then when it's the demon taking over, you know, very malicious, fun, sort of really embracing the animalistic side of that role. So I liked seeing her, and I liked...
She did very well.
I'm a fan of Cal Gallner in general, and I thought Drew was definitely the more sympathetic of them. Like, the main character, Max, he wasn't... Like, some of it, like, you kind of get where he's coming from and all that, but I didn't really quite enjoy him quite as much. But, again...
I get that, no.
Again, he's meant to be kind of the one who's gotten... I mean, they all have their flaws and
he's
have been
meant to be
hiding
the
things.
prick. And,
but yeah.
Take advantage and all that.
Yeah.
Whereas Drew's the sympathetic, you know, guy who's trying to fix things and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. Much more the likable character out of the two was Drew, yeah. And, again, the actress that you really like, Lane, did really... I think... I mean, the whole movie, you know, was set on how she acted, because if you're being possessed and you want a good movie... You better act like you're possessed, right? So, you know, she did a fantastic job. So, yeah. No, I think you hit it right on the head with what, you know, you thought. You know, it was good.
Yeah, and, like, I did like some of the effect, like we were talking about, some of it almost had like a body horror element. Again, this was with a scene in particular that was around a demon, so it wasn't quite the same, but it was kind of like that, like, shedding of skin and just like the slimy, grotesque, like, formation. And there was another scene with a burning in the kitchen scene that I felt, where you kind of get like the sizzling flesh, and so there was like aspects like that where I was like in the kind of like the gritty kind of effects with that. I know you said like it didn't really scare you, and it's kind of interesting because I don't really view horror like that anymore, because I don't go.
You mean to scare you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
like, I don't go into something being like, oh, like. I guess I'm more like it's more in theory, like if a concept or imagining myself in that position, that can definitely be like a horrifying like mentality to put yourself in. But I don't really like. I usually watch horror more for something either interesting, strong themes, strong characters, you know, that type of a thing. So
totally agree with you. Yeah.
Again, like I mostly found it entertaining, and there was some interesting themes, and I think like the intention was good in the day. It wasn't a perfectly executed film, but overall pretty fun, pretty interesting, I thought overall. Out
of what IMDb gives, and we're just going off that right now, 5.9, whatever. Where are you roughly?
I want to say like around 7 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
A 7 out of 10. Okay, we'll leave it at that. But no, getting back really quick, the scariness, movies don't scare me, but there are some things in certain movies that are disturbing.
Yes, definitely.
That will get you in the head. You know, you're like, you know, it gets deep down in there and, you know, squirms around, and you're like, oh my God, you know, especially the real life stuff, things that could really happen, you know. Yeah. So, that's kind of what I meant. Yeah. I'm not hiding under the covers, you know, when a movie's playing something scary. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's, same thing. To be fair, I didn't quite, like I definitely know what you mean, that very disturbing, it kind of lurks under your skin even after, like, the credits roll and you're thinking about it. No, this movie was not like that for me. Right. But it was still had some interesting aspects, and I enjoyed some of the more, like, intense, gory scenes, basically. Well, there you go. Premiere video with Kelsey. Remember to check out her links below, and all of ours, everything. But yeah, let us know if you like a shorter format, because we're going to try to do a shorter format with these kind of reviews with her. Whereas me and Ted, who knows how long we'll talk. But let me know in the comments below what you think, long or short. You know, whatever. This is still probably like 20-something minutes. I don't know. Right. But yeah, thank you, Kelsey. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If you guys saw it, let us know what you thought.
Right.
And if not, check it out, I guess. Be your own judge.
Yep. So with that said, what are you going to say for goodbye? Anything?
Stay creepy.
There you go.